Hey there, this is John Longenecker, and I at one time was a USC cinema student, made films there. Pause this at any time when you're reading this copyright policy from USC. This is the 2008 copyright policy for USC. The key point is that there's US copyright law, which you should learn about. Just go to the Copyright Office website, which is copyright.gov. But the USC guys have a policy that hopefully can get changed so that students can own their work. So what they're saying is that student-produced works get the benefit of guild agreements, school funds, and equipment. But in exchange for that, the students give up their copyrights to their short films. It says where USC owns the intellectual rights of a student-produced work that you make at USC, which is called School of Cinematic Arts. Now, it used to be USC Cinema, now it's School of Cinematic Arts. If you're protected by workman's comp insurance, and that includes errors and omission insurance. And in the motion picture industry, that's important. And it says that USC has an agreement with the Screen Actors Guild of America. Let's see what's next here. What this means is that with respect to student-produced works, you do not have to seek all these protections, insurance protections, and contractual arrangements. You don't have to do it on your own because it's time-consuming. So that's what they're offering, funds and insurance agreements and the agreement that they have with the Screen Actors Guild. Let's see what this says. Oh yeah. Errors and omission insurance is something few students even know about, but it's generally required by motion picture companies and studios who want to distribute or develop your short film into a feature. Now comes the part where they say that USC does not own the underlying copyright to your short film. It says even though USC may own the copyright rights to a student-produced work, that is that's an audio-visual work like a short film. The student retains ownership of the intellectual property rights, including copyright rights, to the underlying script, idea, treatment, concept, or other written work product. Well, the deal is you guys should be writing a story, a treatment, or a screenplay and sending that written work off to Washington, D.C. for copyright registration. And then your short film is just a derivative work. So it says, in other words, if you later develop a feature, TV show, or game related to a student-produced work you created in a class at USC, then, let's see what it says next. Then you and your fellow creators, the guys on your film crew, hold rights entirely to any such new work. A new work is a derivative. So the developed and you don't need to get USC's permission to develop, which means make a derivative work, sell it, or distribute it. The problem is don't copyright or let them copyright the short film first. If you do, all of your story, treatment, scripts, and all of the other contributions to the short film are included and absorbed in that copyright for the short film. So to bypass all that, just copyright the story, treatment, or script first, and then you're the only one as the copyright owner of that to authorize or do a derivative work. And the simple way around having troubles with your crew is to just write up a collaboration agreement, and those are on the website called storyrights.org. as well as on the website copyrightusc.com. Anyway, they have some agreements for collaboration agreement forms in the Copyright Office of USC, in the Production Office of USC. Oh my goodness, let's see if this continues. That's about it. Well, there's more to the USC copyright policy, and it can be found on their website. The key point I want to make is that USC copyright policy has nothing to do with U.S. copyright law. U.S. copyright law is what you ought to be learning about. It's good for you. U.S. copyright law comes from the U.S. Constitution, and it provides rights to an author of an original work of authorship, not to a school or a university or a company or a corporation, unless they get the copyright from the author. So the key to the U.S. copyright law is the rights of the author. And if you write an original work of authorship, a story, a treatment, or a screenplay, and you send it into the U.S. Copyright Office for registration, then you're protected in a number of ways because of the registration. You now have title to the work based on copyright registration, and you have exclusive rights. One of the key exclusive rights is that you're the only one who can authorize or do a derivative work. Derivative work of a story, treatment, or a screenplay is a short film or a movie. So you're the one with those rights. And as soon as film students learn about copyright, the USC copyright policy should fall by the wayside. Unfortunately, there isn't very much U.S. copyright law taught at USC or some other film schools, because if it was taught, the students would understand it, and therefore they wouldn't sign silly forms and agreements that give away the copyrights to their short films. So this YouTube page called Copyright USC, and it may be on other sites, is going to discuss more about U.S. copyright law as it applies to young film students. That's it. Stay tuned.